Well, good afternoon and welcome to our spring press conference. It's great that so many of you could join us, although still in pretty constrained circumstances. I am Ian Hewitt, Chairman of the All England Club, and alongside me, at a distance, the other side of the screen, is our Chief Executive, Sally Bolton. Let me start by saying, quite simply, how excited we are to be discussing the return of the championships this year. The best tennis players in the world competing again on our grass courts, passionate spectators in the stands. Wimbledon will be back this summer. It was just over a year ago, in my first year as chairman, that we announced the decision to cancel the 2020 championships. Painful as that decision was, this past year has reinforced some important messages for us. First, the importance to us of being part of our community, part this year of a bigger challenge, bringing together the collective strengths of Wimbledon, the club, the championships, and our charity, the Wimbledon Foundation, to provide our support where we could and to contribute meaningfully towards helping the very many who have so terribly been affected by this pandemic. Our contribution has ranged from preparing hot food to donations from our Wimbledon Foundation. The Foundation's Coronavirus Fund, for instance, has now contributed £1.5 million to various charities delivering vital response services across Merton, Wandsworth, and indeed London and the UK more widely. We were also pleased to be able to provide financial and in-kind support to those who make Wimbledon happen, from the players to emergency services, from tennis clubs to our officials. Secondly, the importance of financial management and prudence. Careful financial management has of course been necessary and continues to be necessary throughout this difficult year. Our pandemic insurance did what it was designed to do in limiting the financial damage to Wimbledon and tennis in the UK more generally, and has enabled us to provide support for our key constituents, as I have outlined. Thirdly, the fundamental importance of our relationships with our fans worldwide, our partners, and so many others. Last year's Wimbledon fortnight, which we worked hard to celebrate in the absence of the championships themselves, brought with it a vivid reminder of the special place Wimbledon holds in the hearts not only of the sporting world, but more widely. Hearing from so many left us feeling humbled and determined to do justice to their passion this year. It has, though, been an extraordinarily difficult year for very many. Our enthusiasm for the future is tempered by our sympathy for those who have suffered grief, loss, and hardship. I'd like to take a moment to reflect on those who have suffered throughout this most challenging time, and all those who have provided the support to keep us going. Moving on with today's agenda, we will now cover two themes: the return of the championships this year and an update on some future developments. First, we look forward with enthusiasm and commitment to the return of the championships, which we will hope will aid our collective recovery and indeed help in their own way to lift the spirits of the nation after the lockdown. We plan to deliver the best championships possible in accordance with public safety. We aim to celebrate the passion of our fans, to thank those who have gone above and beyond during the pandemic, and to create a spotlight for tennis and for sport as we begin to embrace a return towards normality. It will, though, necessarily be different from Wimbledon as we know it. There are measures that we need to take to ensure the confidence and trust of those from whom we seek support. I will now hand over to Sally, our Chief Executive, to take you through some of the detail.
Thank you, Ian. And good afternoon to you all. As Ian has outlined, we're planning to stage the best championships possible, an event that kicks off the British Summer of Sport with joy and celebration. We are absolutely determined to be back in style in 2021. We've been working closely with the government and other sporting bodies to explore ways in which we can make this a reality. to bring back sport and sporting events in the way that we know them, to recreate that magic of the shared sporting experience. But our priority has been and will continue to be to do this safely, and we're absolutely committed to that. So as our country continues to emerge into a post-lockdown environment, we must maintain an appropriate level of measures to protect our athletes, all our guests, and in doing so, create an event that is safe, best practice, and above all, trusted. Of course, many of these measures will be very familiar to you. They're just the same as you're experiencing at your local supermarket, at restaurants, and in other leisure environments, including things such as wearing face coverings indoors and abiding by appropriate social distancing rules. In addition, we're implementing a minimised risk environment for all of our competitors. We've worked hard to establish this in order to provide confidence that we can bring the players into the country and keep them and their support teams safe as they compete in the championships. This environment also includes an appropriate testing and track and trace programme. At this point in time, applying the current Sports Ground Safety Authority guidance to our outdoor venue results in a capacity of around 25% across our grounds. This makes for exceptionally challenging decisions in terms of ticketing allocation. And whilst it remains too soon to finalise our individual court capacities, we will work hard to create the mix of spectators that Wimbledon is so well known for, whilst also working hard to protect the financial performance of the championships and thus the surplus we deliver to the LTA for investment into British tennis. However, as you will be aware, the government has set an aspirational date of not before the 21st of June to relax as many restrictions as possible. They will be basing their approach to sports events on the outcome of the event research programme. And so the challenge remains that we do not yet know what the results of that will be and how that will affect the government's guidance in respect of major crowd events beyond the 21st of June. And for that reason, there remain many decisions that we are not yet in a position to make. Among these is a final capacity number. We very much hope that the 25% will be a minimum position that we can build from. It is our absolute desire to enable as many people as possible to attend this year's championships. And that is why we have chosen to leave finalising our ticketing distribution until as late as possible. We are, however, pleased to say that we will be holding ticket prices at 2020 levels. We are also awaiting the outcome of the government's review into COVID status certification before making any decisions on requirements for a vaccination or a negative test for spectators to attend the championships this year. But we are very supportive of the government's continued consideration in this area. Lastly, given that we are not at this stage able to fully understand what the financial performance of the championships will be, we are not yet able to decide on prize money for our competitors. We do expect to be able to make this announcement sometime in June. For an organisation that is used to knowing exactly what we do and exactly when we do it, we have had to learn how to work with uncertainty this year. And I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank you for your patience and understanding as much remains unknown at this point. But I really hope that you can join with us in the excitement of the return of the championships as we work hard on our aspiration to deliver the very best championships that we can this year. And now I'm going to hand back to Ian to talk a little bit about some future plans. Ian.
Thank you, Sally. Investing and developing for the long term have, I believe, been key to the continuing success of Wimbledon. Whilst our absolute priority remains the staging of this year's championships, I'm pleased now to provide an update on two significant developments for the future. The first relates to the ALTC Wimbledon Park project. It was 100 years ago, in 1921, that our predecessors were advancing plans and designs for the move of the All England Club from Warple Road to our present Church Road grounds. Now, a century later, we're developing exciting proposals for our 75-acre landholding in Wimbledon Park, currently the Wimbledon Park Golf Club. We are in active consultation with the public on these proposals. Our two central objectives being, first, to maintain the position of the championships at the pinnacle of the sport, including by moving qualifying into our estate by 2028, and second, to enhance the benefit we provide for our community, in particular the local community. We believe these proposals represent a tremendous opportunity and will be of great benefit not just to the championships, but to our 2 local boroughs, to London and beyond. The second future development relates to Middle Sunday. I am pleased to announce that beginning with play in 2022, a year marking the centenary here of Centre Court, we intend to make play on Middle Sunday a permanent part of our tournament schedule, and we will become a 14-day tournament. Thanks to improved grass court maintenance technology over the past 5 years or so and other measures, we are now confident that we will be able to look after the courts, most particularly Centre Court, without a full day of rest during the fortnight. This provides us with the opportunity at an important time to make this move. A move which will enhance the accessibility, reach and fan base of Wimbledon, both in the UK and globally, provide greater resilience and variety to the tournament programme, and offer an opportunity to create a different kind of atmosphere and tradition on the Middle Sunday, with a strong focus on the local community in particular. I'm now going to hand back to Sally again to provide a little more detail on both these topics.
Thank you, Ian. So whilst we're concentrating hard on delivering the championships this year, it's also fantastic to be able to look ahead to what our future might hold. So firstly, turning to the AELTC Wimbledon Park project. Those of you that have had the chance to access the materials on our second consultation will have seen that we've provided some detail on how we propose to make use of the landscape to achieve our objectives. And this is through 5 core principles which I'd like to talk to you about. First is to create an unparalleled, beautiful setting that pays tribute to the heritage of the landscape. The second is to deliver a memorable experience of the highest quality for every guest, be they attendees for the championships or year-round. And of course, this includes bringing our qualifying event on site, and most notably creating a new Parkland show court, a beautiful structure that will be sensitively integrated into the landscape. Third is to nurture and restore the landscape and thus support our environment positive objectives. Playing our part in the global climate challenge remains incredibly important to us. Fourth is to deliver a year-round experience that provides tangible community benefit. And finally, to deliver an experience that enhances the economic impact of the championships for British tennis, for our 2 local boroughs, for London and for the UK. If you're interested in finding out a little bit more about this project, there are further details in the media release and within our online consultation materials. So secondly, turning to Middle Sunday, which is a tremendously exciting development for us here. Over time, Wimbledon has continuously evolved to meet the changing demands and behaviours of our fans. Always changing, always staying the same is something we talk about often. We want more of this wonderful event to be available to more people around the world to share in the joy of the championships. Including Middle Sunday permanently in our schedule will help us to do just that, and as Ian mentioned, become a new tradition and one that we hope will become immensely proud of. Of course, it also enables us to do more with the second Monday, which is often referred to as manic for very good reason. These both remain developing proposals, and we recognise that a great many people will have thoughts, ideas and feedback on both of those areas of opportunity for our future, and we're very keen to hear these. So to this end, we are launching a survey to collect and listen to your feedback, most particularly for those that live locally, but also nationally and internationally, so that those that are interested in and care passionately about the championships have an opportunity to help shape their future. Ian.
Thank you, Sally. Well, that brings an end to our presentation. Thank you for your attention, and I hope, despite the distance, it has been helpful. I must repeat again our excitement for the return of Wimbledon and our fans this summer, and I would like to stress 2 messages. First, that it is our absolute priority to create a safe and trusted environment for all our guests. And secondly, to all our fans, both those who attend and all those around the world, a thank you for your support during this time. We look forward to delivering a really exciting, thrilling tournament for you, with the best players again competing on our grass courts. Thank you.